Hey guys, so when I first dove in deeper into nutrition, I thought it was actually healthy as a horse and fit enough to last on Mars. I was eating healthy. I bought tons of supplements. I bought the gluten free bread, the dairy free milk, yogurt, and cheese, and didn't overeat at my meals. I snacked only a little bit on gummies and Smarties and plain crackers throughout the day and didn't put sugar in my coffee. However, nothing really changed except the increased stress levels between me and food, and the time I spent shopping for groceries, and probably my relationship with my family when I started talking about food. I followed the trends, got reeled in by ads and all the approved health sources. I didn't know why I was craving sugar after every appropriately sized meal, and I definitely didn't know what labels I could actually trust. If you've ever felt the same way, I'm here to tell you you're not alone in those struggles. And the frustrations are not new to human beings. So today, I want to share with you the top things I didn't know but wish someone had told me when I started on my blood sugar health journey. Maybe some of these will sound familiar to you. Number one, low fat means it's healthier. In fact, low fat means high sugar. When a product naturally contains fat and is removed so it can be low in fat, what is often replaced for that fat are sugars, starches, refined carbs, and fillers. These can spike your blood sugar levels. Number two, it's best to go gluten free. Not all gluten free products are healthier, especially ones found in boxes and packages, just like their counterparts. Many also contain additives like xanthan gum and starches to achieve that binding effect of gluten, and that's what makes the flour and bread bind together. Remember, gluten free means gluten free oats, rice, and corn flour, potato or tapioca starch. Those things might be in that product. And when refined into flours and grinded up, this makes it easier to absorb glucose and causes blood glucose levels to spike and rise really quickly. If you want to go gluten free, stick with quinoa and whole food sources like sweet potato, black or mixed rice in moderate amounts. Almond flour and coconut flours are great, but make sure they don't contain those additives and added sugars. Number three, vegetable and seed oils are healthier because they are made out of plants. Now, don't laugh because marketing pros are really good at sending those types of messages. Whether organic or not, it's how they make these oils that inflame our body and make blood glucose regulation harder. And majority of these types of oils are processed with harsh chemicals and extremely high heat, destroying anything good from the raw forms. The best oils to use: olive oil and sesame oil unheated, avocados, avocado oil, coconut oil, hemp, flax, walnut oils, lard, butter, and ghee. Number four, I can't eat fruit. While fruit does contain fructose, a form of sugar, do you know what else it contains? Minerals and fiber. I especially value berries grown without pesticides. Yes, they're not as big or as pretty looking as the ones that are sprayed, but that's my compromise. I also agree that eating fruit with skin over a fruit juice smoothie is amazing for our bodies. It's easier to consume higher amounts of sugar in liquid form compared to whole fruit form. Number five, you can't, you can trust healthy looking labels. Or can you? Just because it says organic, natural, GMO free, plant based, sugar free, low fat, natural flavors, whole grain, or even heart healthy doesn't mean it is nourishing for your body. A lot of those products are just processed foods in disguise with tons of refined starches, additives, seed oils, and sugars. Nut based milks have now added canola oil into their milks. Have you noticed that? What I learned was that the ingredients list was much more. important than the nutrition label. So the solution, well, choose whole foods that expire sooner than later over packaged, convenient, instant food wannabes. Number six, calories matter. Well, they do and they don't. We can probably argue a lot about this, but when we talk about blood sugar balance, nutrients matter more because if we're not focusing on providing our bodies with proper fuel, the proper fuel that they know and recognize and can process, so nutrients from real whole foods, then our bodies will go into stress mode and look for anything that will relieve its stressful state of low energy and search for glucose sources. Eating enough whole foods means less chance of overeating and worrying about calories. A healthy functioning body wants nutrients, not the obsessive calorie counting. Number seven. So I already knew artificial sweeteners weren't good for blood sugar, but it fares to mentioning here again um, because this is an often misunderstood recommendation given to people who want to manage and control their blood sugar levels. Artificial sweeteners like Sweet and Low, Equal, Sugar Twin may not directly increase glucose in the blood, but they do trick your body into thinking that that the body is actually going to get something sweet like glucose. So insulin rises because the brain tastes something sweet. And when there is no glucose, blood sugar dips drastically because of the presence of insulin. And now you're really craving for something sweet. And how long can one last saying no when experiencing such sugar crashes? So what to do? I then turned to healthier sugars like agave syrup, maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, but I needed to be aware of how much I was actually consuming. This is where looking at the grams of sugar and tracking is really important. Track and keep your added sugar count to less than 25 grams or 6 teaspoons for women, and 36 grams or 9 teaspoons for men. Remember, bread, rice, white potatoes, milk, fruits all break down into glucose, but it's the added sugars that need to be addressed first. Number eight, skip breakfast. Well, I'm all for fasting, but my lifestyle made it difficult at the beginning to do this because it set me up for a lunch disaster. So, my recommendation is to actually start with breakfast. Set yourself up here for success because breakfast is usually the starchiest, most sugary, and the least nutrient dense meal, in my opinion. Like, for example, cereal, pancakes, jam spread on toast. In my opinion, the first meal of your day has to be the most balanced and nutrient dense. So that's protein and healthy fats. Learning how to create a protein rich breakfast and making the time to cook real food in the morning is a habit well worth it if you want to avoid that midday energy crash. I personally invest in organic eggs because I eat these almost every morning. It's my protein and fat and for sustained energy. Next, a green water-based vegetable smoothie, and I do add a little bit of mangoes, frozen mangoes, for natural source of sweetness with green powder and extra collagen protein powder since I am getting older. Number nine, fiber is the antidote to spikes. Oh, yes, it is. They slow down the absorption of carbs and sugars in your meals to steady the available energy. So I started eating nuts and seeds as it was the easiest to get in my day. Veggies had to be washed and fresh, so that took a little bit more time. But raw nuts and seeds I could take with me on the go. They have protein, fat, and fiber, carbs. They're actually carbs, right? All wrapped in one bite. Remember, you get fiber from eating plants. So the seeds, the root, the leaf, the stem, or the fruit with the skin. And number 10, food additives, those that are derived from chemical synthesis. They are harmful to your good gut bacteria, which help regulate blood sugar. There are so many out there, and I could list and list them, but the ones that you want to watch out for when it comes to blood sugar balance are high fructose corn syrup. Yes, it's an additive disguised as corn syrup, glucose fructose syrup. That's the number one thing you want to avoid. Artificial sweeteners are next. That those that are aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. You want to avoid those ones. They're found in gum. They're also found in syrups, medicine syrups. So just really watch out for that. Maltodextrin. Gosh, this is found in so many packaged foods like granola bars and crackers. But maltodextrin spikes your glucose levels more than sugar itself. And then there's MSG, monosodium glutamate, or E621. Other names for it, not exactly as intense, the amount of the sodium glutamate, but do have MSG in them, are hydrolyzed protein, autolyzed yeast extract, and yeast extract. The newest flavors from brands like Goldfish actually contain MSG. So something to watch out for. And lastly, number 11, sleep and stress. The non food factors, they do matter. Chronic stress and poor quality sleep spike blood sugar just like food does. In fact, just one night of poor quality sleep, that's less than 6.5 hours, can make you insulin resistant the next day, meaning the sugar in the blood doesn't get cleared efficiently. And so what happens? You call on more of the insulin. High insulin chronically leads to insulin resistance, which is the foundation of a lot of conditions like prediabetes, type 2 diabetes. So, those are the tidbits of information I wish I knew about blood sugar when I became proactive in my health journey. However, you cannot tackle all of this at once. If you try, you'll end up living at the grocery store, standing in the aisles for 15 minutes, Googling every single ingredient, and that's just stressful. I know because I've been there, I've done that. The goal is not perfection, but making better informed choices. No one is perfect, so why do we strive for perfection? Start with one or two changes, like introducing raw nuts and seeds throughout the day or replacing cereal with eggs for breakfast, and you build from there. If this was helpful, hit like and share with someone on a blood sugar balancing journey. Thanks for watching.